we go, folks. Let's talk about it. Let's continue to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. You got our early impressions. We're going to try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. If we do get into spoilers, there will be fair warning. I'd like to save the spoilers for Friday, even though I was on another stream this morning with Gary from Nerdrotic.
Yeah, I saw that. You did spoil it.
Well, they voted, and it was 90% in favor of spoiling the movie. Should we do?
And quite frankly, the spoilers aren't that the end credit scenes are not that spectacular.
Well, I'm going to let the chat decide. I think for the moment, let's keep it spoiler free.
Yeah.
As kind of
no, we can talk about Friday. We should save it to Friday, definitely.
Yeah, but because here's why I like to talk. I prefer to talk about spoilers after other people have seen it, because I want people in the chat to tell us what they think. I want people in the chat to say, well, what did you saw the same end credit scene I did. What are your thoughts? And you can agree, you can disagree, but I think it's more interesting to have that type of conversation.
Yeah, but at the same time, one of them, if you've read the comic books, particularly Fantastic Four, that last scene is not going to surprise you at all.
True. Now, somebody posted this in our Discord. And by the way, if you become a member of the channel, you get access to our Discord, which basically means you get to all the people that are the most active people in our chat. Well, they just go to Discord and keep talking, or they'll, talk about movies, TV, music, everything. We created a bunch of forums on our Film Threat Discord, so you get access to it if you become a member. And and I don't know who posted these.
Yeah, but there's a link to the Discord server on the community tab if you're a member.
But someone in our Discord, I'll find out who in just a moment, posted this. Leading up to Phase 4, Marvel was entertaining, engaging, exciting, and now Marvel has pivoted, so to speak, to ceaseless progressive messaging. I'm really curious how people are going to react when they finally see the messaging that's kind of woven throughout, in particular the sort of like weird out of place rant about socialism.
Yeah.
In regard to the ants.
I know, and you would think a scientist would understand that better.
Yeah, so Hank Pym has this moment where he basically says that ants represent what's good about socialism. Or ants represent socialism. They're socialists. God, now I forget the line. It's so much of the movie was kind of like,
I mean, you're pretty close to what he actually said.
So because ants come in at some point and help, as happens in like every Ant-Man movie, there always been ants that have been very helpful to the cause. But now he sort of, it's just the rant comes out of the blue, in addition to the so-called Ant Tifa, which are all the inhabitants of the quantum realm, which I thought was so weird. Like, other people have pointed this out. Like, this whole thing of comparing Quantumania to Star Wars is completely false. I think that's off target, completely off target to me.
And it's I mean, we talked about it yesterday, but this whole quantum realm, it makes no sense. It just exists. You don't understand the social structure, the government structure, and my whole point in bringing all this up is there's no connection point that we have with it. It's just a land full of crazy characters versus at least in space, there's government systems, there's rivalries. You kind of understand what's going on in space, but in this quantum realm, again, just a planet full of crazy characters.
Well, it's what's weird is I think I kind of figured out, like, why does it bug me? Why does the quantum realm bug me? Like, what is it about it that didn't work for me? And I think part of it is there's sort of a lack of vision. Maybe this is something that it was sort of like a creative, we're going to go for it, and it didn't work. And let me just defend it for a second. So in the quantum realm, which basically looks incredibly muddy, I heard a lot of people saying, oh, it's amazing. The quantum realm looks great. It looks like bad CGI, and it's sort of a brownish hue. It looks like Ohio right now is what it looks like. Sorry to say, I've been seeing these videos pop up about the horrible tragedy in Ohio. My God, my heart goes out to those people there because, that's close to where I grew up in Michigan. So seeing that happen in the Midwest is why first of all, it's tragic. And why aren't we talking about it more? Why isn't there more about this?
Because it's not destroying the environment enough.
Yeah, aren't we? Oh my God,
Yeah, we're not that type of show, but
but in any case, no, it's the muddy is by design because it covers up sort of bad CG, right? So I didn't like that. I thought, why is it so muddy in the quantum realm? It doesn't make sense. And when you go, looking at like genre movies, fiction, and whatnot, there's always like this happened with Star Trek. Every time they go to a different planet, everybody's the same. They look the same or they dress the same. They have like, we're the planet of the whatever. And we all have this thing on our bridge, our forehead or bridge of our nose. And then we all dress in leather, like there's a planetary fashion that takes over. And the quantum realm, what was different about it was that everybody looked different. It was like a box of toys where someone mixed in Star Wars and Marvel action figures and, Star Trek action figures, just mix them up so that there was no one look to everything.
Well, I mean, I think that's the Star Wars connection. The quantum realm is essentially Mos Eisley, but a planet.
Yeah, I guess so. It just didn't work for me. Hey, welcome to the show. Dante James, Verbal Riot Show is here. How's it going, Dante?
You know what? It's good, but I need to change something real quick.
What? What? Okay, you have to go and come back?
No. It's just there's a cable that should have been connected that wasn't, and I just need to do that right now.
All right, cool. All right.
Well, I mean, everything sounds and looks good on our end. So
everything what?
Everything sounds and looks good on our end. So
it does.
Yeah, you look fine.
Okay, never mind.
Sound is good too.
All right.
Okay, perfect.
So we're talking just the quantum realm itself. I was just I think it's been overpraised. The look of it is like they're comparing it to Star Wars.
Wait, who's praising it?
Eric Weber.
Eric Weber and some other, and I'm like, okay, and like back that up. And Eric he bailed at the last minute to come on the show. This is now the third time he's done this. We'll see. Maybe he'll come on Friday.
I mean, I will say Grace Randolph hates the movie more than we do, but she liked the look of the planet.
Oh, she did? Okay, well, that's weird.
I mean, look, the problem is they were trying to introduce something new, right? Something that we haven't seen. I think if they're going to do that, though, it needed to have more life to it, man. I felt like there was just no life to that scenery, like, okay, we've never been to the quantum realm, give us something that we can kind of like chew on a little bit. And everything just felt, and I think you said this before, Chris, when you're talking to Gary, it literally just felt like a video game.
Yeah. Well,
or like you were looking at a video game.
It didn't have a consistent look. It's like all the sort of the citizens of the quantum realm just didn't seem like there was any. It was all over the place. The look of it, and it just after a while just it felt messy.
I mean, that's my point. Is if you have to have some kind of touch point, a connection with it that feels familiar. That this is a world that feels real in some way, and it just wasn't there. And I think that's why most of the movie I'm just sitting back, just watching it, not really engaging with this world at all. And and it's just bad planning, I think.
Absolutely. Well, the thing I didn't understand about, especially the denizens of that area of that land, was why were there other human characters there?
Yep.
Right. And why were they shocked to see other humans there?
Exactly. There wasn't, I think this is, I'm trying to figure out like, why didn't it work? I really feel like it comes down to world building. The world building of what the quantum realm wasn't firmly established. How does it work? What are the rules? Someone pointed out yesterday in the chat, like, how do humans breathe? Because if they're subatomic, a molecule of oxygen would be larger than you. So what are the rules? I mean, look, they can be
Yeah.
fake fantasy rules. I don't care. It can be fake fantasy rules. I'll take it, but at least explain it. And I don't think it was well explained. And I don't think that the world building that established what this was is this, unless I missed something, because I did go to the bathroom once during the film, where people just got there on accident.
They
Is that
never explain it.
they never explain
They
it?
never explain it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is, this is the lazy part of storytelling, even with characters, is they just assume that if we present it, you'll understand it, and and we need more than that. You've got to create those touch points.
Well, I don't mind something being left mysterious. I think sometimes things are over explained, but it really wasn't established what this is. And I think it's going to confuse normies who are just going to be delighted with, it looks cool. Look at Ant-Man. Now he's Giant Ant-Man and he's wrecking the town in his giant form or whatever.
How are you microscopic and then become giant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll be what this movie, the way I felt about this movie is the way I feel about Fast and the Furious movies. It's just I'm watching an animated movie, and that's the biggest disconnect, and that's the reason why I've never fully embraced the Fast and Furious, because it looks cool, looks like fun, and I think that's why this movie will succeed, is because it's this fun world, and if you're not a comic book fan, and you're just a normie, you're going to enjoy the action that's going to happen on screen. I think Eric is probably right that it will make a lot of money. It'll make over 100 million over the weekend. But it's like it's fast food basically.
I'm not sure it's going to hit 100 million.
Really?
I think
I just doubt it, man. Like I could be wrong.
Well, I think the reason it will is because we're still desperate for movies to watch. I think when the other two Ant-Mans came out, there were movies every week. So I think this is a good opening for it. And I think people, again, want it. Post-pandemic, they just want to get out of the house and watch a movie.
Yeah, because the last Ant-Man movie opened the same time Solo did, right?
Yeah. No, Disney wouldn't cannibalize itself that way.
You sure?
Well,
I thought they were pretty close.
No, Disney spreads out their movies because they want all of them to make a lot of money.
Well, I will see. I think it remains to be seen. The last Ant-Man movie, we'll start with Ant-Man 1, made around 50 million, 56 million opening weekend, which, respectable for something like
and the budget of the film probably reflected that as well.
Right, that was the first movie. The second movie did like 87 million. I want to say opening weekend. So this will be whatever it ends up being, which I think it'll be north of 87. It's going to be a quote franchise high. There's always ways to spin it. There's always ways that
but okay, Chris,
the numbers in a positive way.
But when those numbers came out, that was when people still loved Marvel or loved the MCU. I feel like a lot of that love isn't there now.
Well, what I don't like is now it feels like it's required viewing that you have to watch every show to get the full picture. And
and now the TV series.
Another TV series I have to watch. I mean, I'm definitely going to have to watch Loki. Things make a little bit more sense if you watch Loki season 1. Loki season 2 is coming. I wanted to get a couple things. Dante, I want to get your impression of this chart that Alan and I were talking about. This was made by someone in our Discord, or posted there by someone in our Discord. Look, this is not a scientifically accurate thing, but it does kind of spell out like, the trend of the Marvel Cinematic Universe previous to Phase 4 was, we're going to entertain you. You're going to be introduced to a lot of characters, a lot, and it's the number one thing. The priority was storytelling. Storytelling was at the top, and I feel like that's kind of been set aside. What do you think of this this very scientifically created chart?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, man, I think that it's not wrong. It's definitely not wrong. Look, we talked about it yesterday, man. Marvel has gotten into this sickness, right? This formula. And ride or die, they are going to stick with this formula until proven otherwise. Until the numbers are so bad, that's when maybe they'll start to switch it up. But it's gotten to the point now where when you watch any kind of MCU movie, you already know what beats are about to happen before they happen. You already know what kind of jokes are about to come. And for some reason, they think that this formula is still going to keep working for them. And the movies have gotten less original. They've gotten less entertaining. They've gotten just sad, to be honest with you, man. Like when I think about how excited we all were when Disney Plus announced, some Marvel shows, we all thought it was going to be a good thing. And now we're realizing that it kind of crippled them.
Yeah. Real quick, also, I want to say it's Dante James's birthday tomorrow.
Oh.
Dante's birthday is tomorrow.
Getting old, man. Getting old.
And subscribe to Dante James's channel. It's Verbal Riot Show. I just put the link in the chat. Right now. He is, I just checked, 19 away.
Wow, I didn't even know
away
that.
from 1,000.
Wow.
I'm paying more attention to this than Dante.
He really is. I had no idea. I'm like,
you care more about it than Dante does.
As a birthday,
I care, man. I just have,
You're 17 away now. 17 away, Dante. So
wow.
Help us celebrate Dante's birthday.
Guys, I'd really appreciate it. You'd make this old man very happy if you got me to 1,000.
1,000, and you can definitely you'll be able to get monetized. You're eligible for monetization. Now only 5 to go. Only 5 to go.
Oh my God.
Let's do it. Come on. We have over 500 people in the chat right now. Not all of you are subscribers to Verbal Riot Show.
Give me to 1,000 and I'll post a sexy pic.
Okay, wait. All right. You're 1,000. You had 1,000. You did it. You did it.
Oh my
there?
God.
Really?
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's there.
That's nuts, man.
That's nuts. Oh my God,
right.
that's great.
Thank you guys. You're amazing. I don't deserve you. Thank you so much.
That's great.
Soon you'll
That
be
is
rolling
great.
those pennies that YouTube is going to send.
Well, you did it, man. That's
well,
great.
I'll definitely be doing a special video tonight about it. So.
Oh, that's cool. All right. Well, now
you guys are amazing, man. Thank you so much.
Continue to enjoy content put out by Verbal Riot Show. Dante.
Best birthday gift I've gotten in a long time.
There you go. I knew we could make it happen. I will say this on the positive side. I think the two positive things are Michelle Pfeiffer is actually very good. I think she's very good. And then I think that at least the first part of the movie is fun. Mm-hmm. The first part is fun. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know.
So, and that's the thing, man. It's you can't have it both ways, right? Like you can't have this villain heavy like Kang, right? Mm-hmm. And then have it just be like this fun, goofy movie too. You know what I mean? It doesn't work.
No, the problem is
it'd be like putting Darkseid in a Booster Gold, movie. It doesn't work.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, that's why this, they didn't come in thinking we're going to make an Ant-Man movie. We're going to tell Kang's story and put Ant-Man in it, and then put his friends and his family in it. And that's why Guardians worked, because what was Lee Pace's character in
Ronan?
In the first card? Ronan, yeah. Yeah. So it was a Guardians story. Ronan was the villain, and then you had Thanos in the background. But it was still ultimately a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. This is a Kang movie, and again, the fear is the rest will be Kang movies. The Fantastic Four will probably be a Kang movie.
Kang and the family ant. Kang and the ant family. Because at this point, it's basically the ant family, right?
Yeah, that's what it is.
You've got Cassie, the daughter. You've got Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer.
And Wasp.
Wasp, the original Ant-Man. It just seems it's an Ant-Man family movie. Ant-Man sort of represents a brand, right? So all right, we're gonna keep.
But see, I don't even mind that so much, man. Like I was fine with that. I just didn't like things about the movie.
Yeah, no. The Ant Fam movie would have been fine, but it was set in the quantum realm when it should have been set on Earth.
Alan Horkin, I'm no scientist, but socialism doesn't have queens. Last I checked. Yeah, that comment, was it just me? How out of the blue or
Yeah.
out of like, it took me out of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
It made
That's
no
what those
sense.
comments do. They're meant to yank you out of the movie and make you never want to go back.
It seemed so inorganic to what was happening. This weird message about socialism, because the ants that are good, at least as portrayed in the film, the good ants, like there's so-called socialists. It just didn't make any sense.
Especially because Michael Douglas is supposed to be like the ant expert, right? He should know, like,
yeah, I know.
They have a queen.
I mean, that's the point. The ant community is an authoritarian dictatorship. There's one person at the top, the queen, and all the worker ants do her bidding. I mean, that's not communism. That's not socialism.
Wes Ray says, yeah, screw this movie, not seeing it, so beyond tired of the messaging. You're not wrong. I'll say that. I don't blame
the sad thing is it's a sentence. You know, the Batman had the same thing. One line in the movie pulled everyone out of it. And that's what this one does. The movie has nothing to do with socialism or communism, but that one line is just like, you know, where the hell did this come from?
Well, look, it's just so weird that it showed up in this movie at that time. Is bizarre.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Dante.
I was going to say, at this point, though, we already understand. We know that most studios have been infiltrated, right, by activists. Yeah. So they're going to put it in there somewhere, right? Like, I remember that episode of The Last of Us with Bill and Frank, who we all thought that was a great episode, even though it was about two gay men. We had no problem with that. It was just a good story. But then the director has to go on, you know, interviews and say, oh, I want to trick the audience to watching a gay love story. It's like, you know, if you didn't say that, people, just on goodwill, people like that story and we're fine with it. But now, you know, you're projecting your agenda into it, and and now people are kind of pissed about The Last of Us.
You're up to 1,040 subscribers, Dante.
This is crazy.
And we have 700 people watching us right now.
Yeah, so yeah, please slap that like.
Thank you guys so much.
I just wonder, like, when finally audiences get to see this, okay? Box office wise, we're looking at, you know, it'll be respectable. It'll do better than the second Ant-Man. That is a trend, right? So that's a trend that's positive. The first one did okay. So like a third Ant-Man movie, do you think there's going to be a fourth Ant-Man movie?
No.
I
got to pay him more, by the way.
I don't, you know, man, look, I don't think so. But here's the thing. I think Disney likes Paul Rudd. So there is a possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got Paul Rudd, you know, in your stable, you know, you got to use him.
Right.
I mean, he'll definitely be in the Avengers movies when they ultimately come out.
Right.
But in terms
will he though, or will it be Cassie? I said, will he, or will it be Cassie?
See, that's the thing. Yeah. They've already set up. There are female counterparts for every Avenger now.
Yeah. Yes, there are.
Yeah.
If you include the multiverse.
Yeah. And also, who's the Robin of the MCU right now? There isn't one.
Yeah. We're down to 53% with 158 reviews. That's not a small sampling. Okay, so what does this say that the critics? What does this say? Have the critics turned on Marvel? That's my question. Okay, and maybe we can look at some of these. Alan, do you want to read some of these?
Yeah, let's see. NPR says, as depicted, Scott's entire personality, the whole of his character is defined thus: I love my daughter Cassie. Where's Cassie? What have you done with Cassie?
That's accurate. We can confirm.
Let's see. Oh, here, San Jose Mercury News. He liked it. It's all entertaining enough, but Quantumania seems like an in-between Enterprise, another chess move in the superhero series. So kind of a tepid recommendation.
Well, it's yeah. I mean, first of all, that's completely accurate. It just is not like it's not like a self-contained movie. There's just too much else that's about to happen. It's like they're leaking these things out as like chapters and not full movies that you can just fully experience and enjoy. It's a movie that like, well, get ready for the next movie. Like
Right.
you can't make a movie that's basically a trailer for what's coming, which is what this is.
And that wasn't a glowing review.
No.
No.
Alan, some more
Yeah,
comments.
the Ollie Richards, top critic. Marvel's mini hero is back in a movie that's all scale, no fun.
I'd say there are some fun parts, but
yeah. I mean, I definitely laughed at points, but not enough to, that was all in the first half or first quarter.
Yeah, but I would say about the first third is,
yeah. Here's from Eskimo TV. He should write for us. After a promising first act that featured some relatable family conflict, the film falls apart by dividing our characters up in contrived, inconsequential realm that had absent thrills and jokes that didn't land.
Well, I would agree with jokes that didn't land, in particular with MODOK. Oh my God, that was just such a dumb. We talked about it yesterday, but MODOK was like those Steve Odekirk Thumb movies, Thumb Wars, Thumbtanic. What were some of the other Thumb movies? What were some of the other Thumb movies, Alan?
You're asking me that?
Don't you? Aren't you a Thumb movie fan?
I am not a Thumb movie fan. But didn't Bob Odenkirk do the? Is it?
It's Steve Odekirk.
Oh, Steve Odekirk.
Yeah.
Did he do Kung Pao?
Yes, I liked Kung Pao.
I love Kung Pao. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Ant-Man isn't an example of bad comedy. It's bad drama, bad science fiction, and a waste of everyone in it, including Evangeline Lilly and Michael Douglas.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would say that's accurate.
That's fair.
Let's see. Ironic that after all the millions of dollars spent on computer-generated pizzazz, the best special effect comes from two of the real-life stars serving up some real-life acting.
Yep.
Let's see. Buried deep, deep, deep down in Quantumania is the heart of what is a good Ant-Man movie could be, but it doesn't find it too often. I guess it's just saying that the overall message is buried pretty deep, which I would agree with.
Neurotic says, love you guys. Hail, chat, and next week. Can't wait. That's right. Okay, so Gary's coming in next week. He'll let me know when. We might direct message. Actually, I'm going to be on FNT on Friday.
Yeah.
I forgot. So I'll plug it. I will be on Friday Night Tights on Friday.
2 days.
See, this Friday we'll do our morning live stream, and I hope after that we never talk about Ant-Man again. I mean, seriously, if there's
we have box office to talk about next week.
We'll talk about that next week, but it's it'll be a fun. I always like, well, what do these other people think? And I think the only person that I know of who liked the movie was Eric Weber. Eric, get on the channel. I sent you the link. You can do it on your phone. Thank you, Gary.
My problem is I didn't hate it. I have no feelings about it either way. It was like, it's something I saw and I'll forget about it next week.
I think Eric has a good grasp on normies, and he knows that the average person will probably like this movie.
See, that's the thing that is going to be interesting is we're here being very critical, looking at all the things that stand out, that weird socialist line that is just so out of nowhere. But are just regular, don't think about it too much. I just want to be entertained, walk in a movie theater, see something weird. I saw a trailer for it. The other Ant-Man movies I saw, they were fun. This one should be fun too. And they'll just ignore the stuff that's stupid. I don't know. That's why I'm really curious. But I'll tell you that because also the critic score and the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes tend to always be different. They tend to always be different. I want to share something here. We have more comments to go through, but I want to share this real quick. Wait, I had it. Here it is. There's MODOK. This is what it looks like. It literally looks like the Steve Odekirk Thumb movies. And I forgot, they made Bat Thumb, and I'm pretty sure I have Bat Thumb on standard def DVD. So
every hand has a thumb.
It's just so ridiculous. So I have the collected DVD. I had it here just a minute. Where is it? No, I don't. No, I don't have it. But it's there's a collection DVD you can look up of all of the Thumb movies, which is Thumbtanic, the Thumb Wars, and then Bat Thumb. I'm Bat Thumb. So there you go. That's MODOK. So
I mean, it's pretty close.
yeah, it's so there you go. All right. Back to your comments and questions here. Yep, MODOK looks about just like that. It just someone should have done a test and gone, okay, well, how are we going to make this look convincing, menacing? And it doesn't look that way. It looks dumb. It looks laughable. It's played for comic relief. It's utterly ridiculous. So, all right. Back to this. Back to comments. We have a filmmaker coming on in about 10 minutes or so. 10-15 minutes. But stick with us and then stick around for this filmmaker interview as we go here. It's our format. Artful Dodger, I felt Top Gun and Avatar were normie okay too, and they did major box office because they didn't talk down to the audience. Fair point. Zavin, Fantastic Four are going to be introduced as time travelers trying to fix the timeline so they can exist again. That sounds dumb enough for Hollywood. Actually, what you just said sounds like a logical way to actually get them in the universe.
Actually, that's not bad.
Yeah, and then they could set them in the 60s. I don't know. Everyone, whenever they do like the casting of the Fantastic Four, I always hate it. I haven't seen any Fantastic Four fan casting. And then John Krasinski goes on. I don't think he was very good as Reed Richards. Am I wrong?
No, I didn't care for his.
I think honestly he had more gravitas than any of the other ones to be Reed Richards, but you're probably right.
Yeah.
And like they're talking about Dev Patel, which makes me think, well, he's as good as Miles Teller.
Yeah.
See, again, we're setting up a weird situation, right? Because we're doing this whole Kang thing, right? So what happens when Doctor Doom comes? What are the stakes? Right?
Yeah.
Like Doctor Doom, who everyone acknowledges is like the badass of the MCU of Marvel. What happens when he comes after all this Kang stuff? Well, what are the stakes?
Well, I mean, if you go by what got me out of comic books, it's the whole collapsing of the multiverses into one, which I believe he was behind, and I basically bailed on Marvel at that point. But yeah, you're right. The problem with Doctor Doom is he's an Earthling, and so the stakes are Earthbound versus what we've had with Kang and Thanos, which was more universal in nature.
Yeah.
Unless honestly, Marvel has some master plan where they're going to just course correct everything. I know, course correct everything with this timeline thing, and then it's a big reset. If they do a big reset, who knows? But
I have a prediction that the multiverse and the mostly female Avengers are going to have to fix the multiverse because they're gonna basically trace it to the snap, because it was Tony Stark's fault that all this happened for some reason. They're going to make it that the previous Avengers, they're the reason that all this multiverse thing blew up, and now they've got to come in and fix what those idiots did.
So you're saying the white male Avengers?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. They're the ones. Look, this is just my prediction that somehow it's going to be traced to when the snap happened, or maybe it was the second snap that righted things. That is going to be the cause, right? That'll be the thing that sets it all in motion. And maybe what they'll do is they'll fix that the snap never happened, which is something that the other Avengers, said that couldn't be done. It couldn't be undone. So. But like, no. It was sort of like when Shuri comes in and kind of schools Bruce Banner, like that kind of scene. It'll be just like that. Why didn't you do that? It's like, oh, we didn't think about it. It's like, okay. All right.